So, we have completed preseason, and it wasn't a complete disaster. Now, are we putting a whole lot of stock into this? Not really. There's a couple of reasons. One of the big reasons is, well, the 2017 Cleveland Browns and 2008 Detroit Lions both went 4-0 in preseason and proceeded to lose every single game of the regular season. But more importantly, a more relevant topic is that we did go up against a couple of teams that have a few crises of their own. You have the Steelers with their quarterback and potentially wide receiver issues, and then the Browns, well, they're the Cleveland Browns. Of course, Texans, maybe a little bit of wide receiver concern. CJ Stroud, is he going to regress even further? Who knows? But we're going to take the win, the 3 wins actually that we had, and we're going to roll with it. We also spent a few of our franchise points to upgrade our scout squad ability, which will allow us to hire 3 tier 2 scouts, which of course this team needs all the help it can get, meaning that we'll have a little bit better of a chance to draft someone decent. But it is now time to move on to the regular season. First, we have that preseason bye to get everyone healthy, which, of course, if you weren't here for the first episode, where were you? You must not have been subscribed. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. But JC Horn is injured. 2 to 4 weeks. We'll see exactly how bad it is here in a moment, but we do have some upgrades here to some of our play sheet abilities, which is nice, but it doesn't say any actual unlocks, so maybe I'm just not reading it right. Oh no, the worst thing you could ever see in your life. Diddy at your door. I mean, position battle. Who the hell? Oh, I was about to say, who is that? Let's take a look who this is. So Rico Oh, I forgot about Dowdle. Hey coach, been putting in some good reps. You said, am I getting named a starter or what? More is needed. Oh, he's gonna be pissed. Your progress has been great, but consistency is also important when making such a significant change. Uh-oh. Imagine he's like, that's some bull, and just starts throwing crap off our desk. We still need to see more. I was hoping for something better, but at least it's not a no. Oh my god, we keep stringing this guy along. We should just say no. I'll take on any challenge. What do you have in mind? 4,000 rushing yards. Split first team reps in practice, and you'll also be getting some extra snaps in-game. State your case by performing when it really matters. 150 yards and a rushing touchdown over the next 3 games. I've said I'm ready from day one. No doubts I'll prove that to you. Here's the thing, though. It's so weird because we're the coach. So why would I do these goals? I could just start them anytime I want. I'm so confused by that. We are literally stringing him along like just the worst person of all time. But of course, we do have our roster down to 53, so we can just head straight to week 1. Also, if you guys want to see episode 3 tomorrow, we're going to bump the like goal a little bit. You guys hit that way too quickly. We're going to do another 100 likes. So 600 likes, and episode 3 will be tomorrow. And I think we're going to keep doing that until eventually you guys don't hit the goal. Imagine we're just doing an episode every single day for the next 300 days. That'd be insane. But of course, the first week, a very winnable game. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't want to look too far ahead as we're likely going to be playing 3 games this episode. Could be 2, but likely 3. But I'm also kind of liking what I'm seeing ahead of here as well. As far as what we got to do first, we got some scouting. We got to deal with who is our scouts. Time to hire scouts. Yes, we understand that. Do we actually have that ability loaded in? I want to make sure we do have scout squad. What else do we have? Coaching staff earns extra XP, and then extra XP for training camp. Fair enough. Anything else? Trainer ability, reduce wear and tear. Yeah, so everything is exactly how we want it. And then as far as practicing, I kind of want to go half pads. I want XP, don't get me wrong, but I also, especially for the first game, want us to be as healthy as possible. Oh, crap. I could have done Bryce Young and all them individually. Whoops. Uh-oh, Antoine Green's arm hurts. I mean, let's be honest, that right arm ain't hurting because of practice. But before we go into the upgrades and straight up into week 1 of the regular season, we obviously have to look at the scouts. Currently, we do not have our maximum scouts that we could have for tier 2, but cornerback, quarterback, it sounds like I said the same thing. I know, I heard it too, but we unfortunately will not be needing your talent. So I am going to hire the guys we need, and you'll see them in a moment. All right, here are our scouts. We ended up in, I did not want to fire the scout. I wanted to sort it, whatever. Our tier 3 scout, which is at the bottom. The best I could do to get 2 expertises that were what we needed the most was linebacker, safety. You could argue both those positions, especially linebacker, are a very big need. Then we did corner, wide receiver, just because there wasn't really that much in the way of dual linebackerage. Then we have edge linebacker, which of course, linebacker, Mike, and tight end. We need both of those positions as well. And then even though I think our O-line is actually in a pretty good spot, I did want to put a little bit into the offensive line. And then a quick look at the breakdown. Nationally, we have corner, QB, and wide receiver. Not bad. West is QB, wide receiver, strong safety. Central is corner, QB, tight end. Northeast is corner, right edge, left edge. And then Southeast, wide receiver, DT, QB. Not a whole lot of strengths on the offensive line. Of course, not much you can really do in terms of actually scouting right now. You can get an idea of the builds and, how many of the high projecteds there are, but you can't really see their ratings or anything, so sort of pointless to look at them right now. So we're just going to go into our upgrades and head on to week 1 of the regular season. Wow. 4 zone coverage for Trayvon Merrick. I mean, his zone is already really bad as is, so that is just a massive help, but that still is absolutely insane. We upgraded Nick Scott on his own for run support, which actually got him his scheme fit, and then the final player is going to be Jeromepkr, who, of course, had some pretty damn impressive snags on the sideline in preseason. Very good upgrade there. And now, before we head into game 1 of, I think, 3, we'll see, it is time to take a look at our starting lineup. And here it is, our 53-man roster. I should note that Jonathan Brooks, who actually looked pretty decent in preseason, this was a tester for him. Of course, coming off of that torn ACL, there was a chance he could play this season, and while he looked all right, something didn't feel right, seemed like he tweaked something, and to avoid any further damage, he is going to be deactivated for the 2025 season. So that is why Rico Dowdle has been coming to us so often, is because, of course, he knows there is an opening, especially at 2, potentially at 1. And, of course, that does mean Jonathan Brooks will be out for the season, but better safe than sorry. Could potentially do something near the end of the season if he's feeling right, or if maybe there is a crazy unexpected playoff push. But as of right now, that is the starting 3 at the running back position. Of course, quarterback is Bryce Young. Wide receiver was a big question mark. I think this is going to be the best starting lineup going forward. Of course, Teteroa McMillan at wide receiver 1, Xavier Legette at 2, and then Adam Thielen, who is obviously a route technician, at number 3. We have Jeromepkr at 4 because I like the frame a little bit better for 4, but Horn would be the backup in the slot. So if something happens to Adam Thielen, maybe even demands a trade to a team that maybe has a better chance of winning midseason, he would be the guy with his star dev to go into that slot. Of course, looking at the offensive line, not bad either. We knew the starters from the get-go, though. And then tight end, not a whole lot of competition, as Sanders does have the highest ceiling. Defensive side of the ball, of course, nothing really changes here. Everyone you would have expected is the starter. I suppose Robinson being a little bit higher than Wharton maybe surprised you, but he is the better of the 2 players, even if he probably is built better to just be the straight-up nose tackle. Even then, he does have the better ratings than Wharton, so he is going to be the number 2. But yes, obviously, this team is still a massive work in progress, but it doesn't mean we can't try out our all and maybe show enough heart to pick up a couple of wins, starting with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And here we are on the road to start the season in Jacksonville, Florida. A little bit of an overcast, should hold steady. Big game because, of course, this is another sort of under-the-radar team that showed some glimpses last year that with the right QB play, which was inconsistent in the past, could actually surprise some teams. Now, the biggest thing, obviously, with that Jaguars team is that they have a brand new face, potentially the face of the league going forward, which is insane to think for a non-QB, in Travis Hunter. Of course, they are highlighting right now the last season records of 5-12 for us, 4-13 for them. Not a great combined record there, but that is all in the past, as now it is time to start the 2025 season, which we will be getting the ball first to get this thing started. Trevor Etienne has won the kick return job and will try to bounce this out to the right. Will not get there to the 22-yard line. Bryce Young, of course, definitely some chance of potential bust looming in the air. There's been a little bit of potential, especially last season. However, potential can only take you so far. You actually have to put it out there, actually be consistent, put it together, and we'll see if you can do that for us. We're going to start this game, though, on the ground with a dive, and maybe there was a potential chance to run left. Didn't find the lane, and we will gain only a yard. Really don't want to throw the guys into the Wolves here, especially the pass game. But at the same time, they are looking pretty stout on this run defense, as the left guard will get a block, and unfortunately, Chuba Hubbard can't really get through there cleanly. Does pick up 4, though, making it a somewhat semi-manageable 3rd and 5 situation. Adam Thielen in the slot. Going to see if this man can get us open with a zig route. And he will not. We're in trouble. It's going to be a throwaway. It is going to be, I was about to say, thankfully not grounding. The very first drive of the season will result in a 3-and-out. I might have to look back at this play and see if we had anyone open. I don't believe we did. Of course, big focus on this man right here, Travis Hunter, running one-on-one with Xavier Legette. Has inside leverage on us. Well, we have it on him, but that's obviously a lot to ask for. Unfortunately, look back at it. The only guy that even had a chance to be open would have been Tetairoa-McMillan, but we didn't have the time to throw it there as the linebacker was looming. To the 41 after the punt, Trevor Lawrence, another guy we talked about, all the potential in the world, but has still yet to really put it together. He has all the weapons now. Offensive line isn't perfect, but it is improved. This is kind of a put up or shut up season for him. Even with the Panthers here, Bryce Young, it's still a little early. Trevor Lawrence, there's not many excuses left as they're going to hand this ball off first thing. Etienne, brother of our Trevor Etienne, bring the blitz. Let's actually use her Nick Scorton, who is not going to get there. Very good throw over to Brian Thomas, who will convert on 3rd and 9. 2nd and 10. Again, they got really good field position after that stop defensively. It's going to be a screen. We're out there with Barnes. We make a great open field tackle. The convoy gets there, and that will be a loss of 1 on the play. Chris Barnes had himself a pretty good preseason, especially the finale. Bring the blitz. Getting picked up pretty well, and Trevor Lawrence is going to take a shot here. We have a chance at a pick. We allow him to catch it underneath to the 12. Misjudged it by an inch. Tried to slow down so we didn't over-pursue it and get rocketed, and he catches it. Worst run defense in the league a season ago so far. Handling it pretty well. Derek Brown being back definitely plays a massive factor. And pretty good coverage. Trevor Lawrence is going to take off and pick up 3. Did not really want to bring the rush. It's a little too late, though. Stuck on the D-line, try to swat it, and over the middle, Travis Hunter. First drive, first touchdown for his young and likely long career. Look at that smile. I wish he wasn't smiling. I wish he wasn't smiling. Actually, not bad at coverage, all things considered. Just with the blitz, couldn't get there in time, and Smith Wade gets beat over the middle. Stretch left. I don't love it, but I also hate the audible. And there goes some room. Chuba Hubbard, first big gain of the season, hopefully of many, puts the moves on Travis Hunter to the 48-yard line. Big gain. Half tempted to run it, but I don't think we're going to get it. Going to go underneath. Tetairoa-McMillan. A huge stiff arm on top of it. First down. The man got a little bit of a grab, and we already have Dowdle in. I was about to say, because there's some concerns. Rico Dowdle wants more opportunities. He's going to get him here. 1-on-1 on the outside. They do have that safety creeping. We'll have to see how this works. And we should have taken McMillan. Oh, my Lord. I thought we were about to just freaking get safetied. A safety grounding. They're telling us to not go for this. I don't know why I wouldn't dive. All right, 4th and inches. And we will get it. Chuba Hubbard, he's been pretty elusive. Chuba Hubbard on the screen pass. Nobody out there. Gets out cleanly. Good cut inside. Jukes inside. Positions himself well to gain the first down to the 10. That would, of course, end the first quarter. And so far in this game, down 7, but in position to score. Counter left. They are not really on the right side here, so we'll see. And Rico gets about 2. And have to look to pass. 3rd and goal from the 7. Let's try to sneak this underneath with Dowdle if we can. Maybe it's there. We're on the run. And that's a tough throw. We did try. Couldn't get it off to him. Devon Hamilton chasing us to the outside. I did not expect that. And unfortunately, the scramble play doesn't work. It'll be a field goal. We did also end up going with Fitzgerald. Just felt like he had a little bit of a higher ceiling. Similar kind of skill set. Gave him the nod, I think, as, the ball goes through the uprights. Off to a good start, chip shot or not. 2nd and 4, the Jaguars not struggling as much as we were hoping they would. Roseboom inside is going to get blocked up. Travis Etienne gets to the 33-yard line. We got bodies. I don't know if we really have the bodies. You're going to have to move them in. And, oh, it's a sneak. I forgot. QB sneak. Try to get a swat, and there comes the rusher off the edge. Smith-Wade beat on the touchdown by Travis Hunter. Somewhat makes up for it with that sack, sending them back to the 25-yard line on 3rd and 20. Going to sit in a little cover 4. They are bringing 5, so empty backfield. We'll see. Nice little one-hander by Trevor Lawrence as Derek Brown gets himself a sack. Beautiful. Back-to-back sacks for the defense. Going to set up the offense, in theory, with good field position. Horn on the return. Not the biggest man in the world, by the way. Trying to cut that back right. Gets us to the 42, similar to how they scored their touchdown drive. Oh, I did not see that guy there, and oh my lord, Thielen just got speared. It's Brittany, bitch. Inside handoff. We're going to try to catch him off guard, and we do! But unfortunately, the guy who just absolutely chucked our receiver to the side, by the way, catches us, setting up better field position. But yeah, not a great drive. Taylor Moton on top of it, injured. This will be a punt that hopefully pins them inside the 10. Think we're on target with this punt. Not so much. We're still a bit rusty, okay? The crazy part is, when we released that, I thought it was too far inside. That could have been at the 30-yard line if I had my way with it. As right now, the Jaguars, they're not doing much on the ground. On the tight end, got the running back and the tight end. Got too much to cover. And, oh, wow, what a play, but Travis Hunter drops it. It was a good hit, but that is seriously surprising. We're going to be sitting in man. We're going to be going with Scorton on this rush. Bull rush doesn't work. Trevor's got time, throws it underneath. Spin move for nothing is going to leave the guy short. Diami Brown had it. 2-minute warning. 3-7 right now. Headed to halftime. They get ball, so massive stop. We do have a limited amount of time, but at the same time, 3-7 is a lot better than 3-14, so can't make a mistake. And that is almost picked off. What a read by Devin Lloyd. I believe that was him. I thought maybe it was Aluakon. Try to get that clock moving, get it to the the 1 minute mark, and maybe if we have to punt it. I don't want to be too super negative about us not having a chance here. And here we go. Quick out. Leggett gets the first down. Clock is running. And we're going to take off with Bryce Young here. Pick up a nice 9. We'll call it timeout. Really like that slide from Bryce. It was very athletic of him. Going to run inside with Hubbard and get a lot more yards than I thought we would. To the 37. We'll call another timeout. Not too afraid to waste these, and they are kind of giving us a freebie here. 3-man deep is a little strange. We'll go underneath where we probably should have held off. Let's try to spike this thing, which we will get. Okay, we should have a little bit of time left. So that timeout, we can potentially take a shot. Would like to just keep inching closer if we could, though. And, oh, now. Okay, good job by Tedero and McMillan. That will be the final play of the half. That running back route definitely intersected a little bit as McMillan was wide. But hey, not a bad little drive there to likely hit this field goal to make it a 1-point game entering halftime. Of course, Jacksonville does get the ball to start, but we have kept it closer than it definitely could have been with some of our struggles early. And now looking at the halftime report. Got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. A very big rivalry matchup here. And Isaiah Pacheco from 30 yards out, setting the ankles on fire there of the defensive back, stiff-arming into the end zone and scoring a very, very impressive touchdown. The Chiefs roll the Chargers 45-17. They might be making another run. Dallas versus Philadelphia, another really big rivalry game here, maybe even bigger. Little play-action fake-out. It actually is a run, bouncing off of multiple defenders, slipping and scoring. The Dallas Cowboys with a little bit of an upset, 28-22 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, pretty good game, just wasn't enough. And then finally, the Cardinals and the Saints. Big game here as well. Two teams trying to prove something, especially the Cardinals. Hurdling over defender, spinning off of another, spinning off of a second, and making his way into the end zone with a dive. Kyler Murray, 14-7. Winning that game over Spencer Rattler and the Saints. Not all games have concluded, but some of the other ones you can see at halftime. The Browns, 7-6, similar to our score. Looking at some highlight plays from our game. A couple of juke moves in there. Running backs galore. This was one of my favorite highlights as well. They're not going to show it, but a little back juke into a spin. Looking at the numbers of both teams. Pretty modest stuff, but as we expected from preseason, Chuba Hubbard, the Chuba train has taken off. Potentially a little drizzle come down. I couldn't tell, but it seemed like there was. Have to keep our eye on that weather report. See if anything changes. Might even have a break in the game with something like that as we blast their return man, Tootin, the speedy little rookie, to the 24-yard line. I think we're going to try to get after them early. Obviously, you got the safeties up, so you can't really tell if it's blitz or not. But we are going to be, in fact, blitzing them. And Travis Etienne slips out of it all to gain 12 and a first down. They're kind of big break in the run game so far. They haven't had a whole lot of success with that aspect of their game just yet. And Derek Brown doing a pretty good job, but gets chipped. Trevor Lawrence, what a throw! Caught under duress. What a grab. Diami Brown with a pretty bad mistake pre-half, spinning instead of going for the first down. And there, Trevor Lawrence blasted in the process, but Diami Brown holds on, and they will get that first down. That was a very big throw, very big catch. A bit riskier than I would have thought in that situation, but they took it and it worked. Nice little throw underneath. Travis Hunter taking a little bit of a hit from a linebacker. Big question mark for his career. Can he handle the hits? Can he handle the punishment that comes with the big guys in the NFL, the big speedy guys, mind you? Of course, he is out on this play as Travis Etienne breaks off a tackle but gets hit. Now a 3rd and 2. Travis Hunter back out there. Looks like they're maybe potentially using him as the slot receiver. And there goes another run attempt. Fumble on the play, recovered by their tight end, I believe it was. 4th and 3 from the 37-yard line. They will attempt this field goal. Cam Little, preseason record holder. 70 yards deep, and unfortunately here in real action, misses from 54. And it will be a turnover on downs. Starting on our drive with a play-action look. Going to dump this off to Tommy Tremble, who will rumble for 6. Coverage has been tight. Sometimes the coverage is wide open. Other times it's tight. Makes you hesitate a little bit. Right over the middle, Leggett gets blasted but holds on. First down. Back to the dive out of pistol. I don't know if they would expect us to run it, but they should. But Bryce Young is a dangerous man. And there goes Hubbard. Outrun of the defense! 44 yards for the first touchdown of the season. You knew it was bound to happen sooner or later. Chuba Hubbard with a massive sprint to the end zone. And who knows, maybe we won't be like the others. At least with our first game. Potentially winning this game against the Jaguars. Taking the lead. Big run by Chuba Hubbard. See if we can't try to hit the 2-point. Make this a little bit of a cleaner lead. And they're on this. They're going to have to force this. And Adam Thielen gets it. What a throw. Perfect catch. 2-point completed. Jaguars sitting up with a 3rd and 4. Drags open. He hits it in stride. Travis Hunter, first down. And sacked up the middle on the blitz. It works out. 3 sacks on the day. 2 of them off of that pressure blitz. I don't know how I'd feel about it if I was them, but 3rd and 12 not completely over with. Bringing the blitz again. Tight end. Oh, wow. Right behind Roseboom. And speaking of Roseboom, trying to lay the boom. Bounces off of it. Diami Brown, arguably wide receiver 1 for them. Hell, the entire team. Both sides. Say what you will. Trevor Lawrence is absolutely dotting up right now. Turn around there. Quick out. Nope. It's going to be the corner. And Brian Thomas scores with ease. Jacksonville back on the board. Likely going to be tying this thing up with the extra point. 14 all. Chuba Hubbard's wear and tear is fine for now, so we're going to give him another handoff. Oh, what a cut. And there goes Chuba Hubbard, second level. Tries to outrun Travis Hunter. Can't, but to the 37-yard line. Have a huge game. 3 quarters are up. On to the final quarter of the game. Big catch there by the Jaguars. Can't believe it. Diami Brown having a big one. And Brian Thomas getting the touchdown. Both of their 2 big-name wide receivers, Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr., with touchdowns. We, however, a little bit more on the ground than them, having some success in position to regain the lead. Screen pass, Dowdle. Going to get that off to him, but there's no blocking. Gets slammed. Massive loss. Drive is definitely stagnated a bit. We do have McMillan. Will we have the time to hit him, though, is the question. And we got to take the tight end. We don't have the time. And Sanders is in a pretty good spot. Won't be enough. That will be a field goal. We will regain the lead, but the door is still open. Don't count those Jaguars out, which is the thing that concerns me. And the kicker is now perfect. Yet again, 2 for 2. We're up there. Let's see if we can get the stop. And, oh, we do! Flips him over, and it's going to be short. They're going to have to kick a punt. Wow. I don't know who just got upended, but it worked. I think he kicked Trevor Lawrence in the back of the head and concussed him. I think he's got CTE, instant CTE. Career over. Blasted on the return, by the way. Looking for the short out with McMillan. It might have been open. Thielen. It's a pretty good throw, and Thielen will convert to the 35. Perfect release. We tried this before. It didn't work out. Let's see how it works this time. They do have Travis Hunter over there. And they are on this. We're going to go nowhere. All right, Curls. Got to make the read. Nothing is off limits. Mainly looking at McMillan, but we're looking across the board here. I think you got to take it. And he catches it, but the ball is so shallow, he has to come back to the ball, and they will have a chance with this thing. Also, we probably could have done a little bit better to hike this in time to make this the 2-minute warning. I think we will be able to still get it to the 2-minute through the air, so not much is lost, maybe a couple of seconds. All right, hopefully a little bit better of a punt. And this one does keep it in bounds, unfortunately. And they do a pretty good job locking to the 23-yard line. Does take us to the 2-minute warning, thankfully. 17-14, holding on to a field goal lead. Single high safety, dropping Ransom back. Scorton, wide open outside. Goes out of bounds, massive first down. Barnes, we missed. And we will not get it. He throws a high point right behind us. That is a perfect throw. But genuinely, we had the bait, and he high pointed us. That's wild. Never in a million years did I think that was possible. Wow, and they see the weak front, and they take advantage. They're like, hey, we'll take a field goal. Inside shading, Roseboone. Oh, my Lord, what a throw. Dropped, though. Brenton Strange, a couple of those now. We're in the blitz, 3rd and 1. They need the first down. Drag wide open, yep. There goes Diami, who's had a big game. Huge spin, which is why I'm glad we followed up. We played so safe over top that they took advantage underneath. And they might be willing to just take this field goal, which I'm down, but they do have 2 more timeouts, so who knows. Bring Evans in a little bit. Scott. Back of the end zone. Oh, my God, I didn't even see that. An absolute dot by Trevor Lawrence back of the end zone with 35 seconds left. The Jaguars take the lead. That was a ridiculous drive by Trevor Lawrence, and really Trevor Lawrence alone. The throws he had on that drive were unbelievable. Back of the end zone, toe tap, toe drag. Dimey Brown, what a game he had too. 35 seconds left to try and score a touchdown. 2 timeouts, so not necessarily off limits for a lot of our plays, but definitely need a little bit of depth. And, of course, we hit our own lineman in the head for a wide open guy. We had a guy for like 20 yards and likely out of bounds on top of it. That's a tough one. I really wanted to take that, throw it away. Could have thrown it away a little bit closer so we didn't waste all that time in the air. All right, we just got to get something. Tataroa gets behind the defense a little bit. Out of bounds, was he? He should have been out of bounds. He was to the 33-yard line. Okay, hold on a minute. Let him cook. Host McMillan, we'll see. Could you imagine? Going to take a shot. Oh, it's terribly thrown, and not sure the flag. That could be DPI. And are they going to call pass interference? They will. To the 8-yard line we go. Thielen, Sanders. Here it is. Oh, not a great route. Thielen catches it as time expires. Panthers win. What a finish. Thielen setting it up with the pass interference. And then, of course, sideline. What a route. The defenders ran into each other. And we're going to pull off the miracle win at the end. 23-21. What a game. Wow, what a finish. Trevor Lawrence with a damn near perfect drive somehow gave us just enough time. Jaguars defense in the secondary breaking down at the worst times. Bryce Young extending the play with Tetairoa and McMillan to even set that drive up to the 33. They had an interception, very controversial call. And we just did what we could with what was given to us, which was a chance at the 3-yard line, 8-yard line with 3 seconds. And we made it count to start the season off 1-0. And of course, they show you like every single play of the game almost. But for some reason, don't think a penalty is irrelevant. We should have looked at it, but at the moment, I don't care about a penalty or why it happened, if it was legit or not. All that matters to us is that it happened, and we have a chance. Of course, speaking of chances, the only reason why we even had a chance. Look at the speed of Bryce, by the way. Perfect play. Tetairoa, McMillan. Unbelievable. Wow, what a way to start the season. Bryce Young, numbers aren't amazing. A lot of the yards and the touchdown, of course, itself came on that final drive. About 70 pretty much of, actually 70, yeah, 70 on the nose of that 148. About half on the final drive of the game. So, I mean, a lot of dink, dime, and dunking that just didn't really work out throughout. But when he needed to, he clutched up. It was a hell of a game. Chuba Hubbard, of course, had a really good start to the game. And then the fourth quarter really wasn't his friend. Looking at the receivers, McMillan, 58 yards with a 37-yard catch and run. Leggett for 29. Hewlett at 23, but had the touchdown. Definitely not the best performance through the air, but Smith-Wade with 2 sacks on the blitz. Derek Brown with the 3-man rush sack. And a win with the help of a missed kick from Cam Little for the Carolina Panthers. Smith-Wade, to no one's surprise, has an upgrade point. The guy literally had a game. Let's go man-to-man. 71 overall now. 2 sacks. Did get beat by Travis Hunter for a touchdown, but I mean, how many players won't do that this season? And then Princely Umanmielen, who there's a couple of moments for the edge rushers, but mainly was the blitzes that got anything rolling in the pressure department. Gets himself an upgrade point as well. 3 to block shed, 1-2 finesse move. Heading on to week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. Another very winnable game. As far as our loadout progress and all that, 4 tackles for a loss in a game for the play sheet. No actual new unlocks, no breakouts, no nothing like that, no player of the week, which I am actually curious to see how we're looking. Of course, quarterback numbers not great, but hey, we won. Baker Mayfield and Okereke, and then of course, Pacheco and Joke. And by the way, we can actually look at the weekly recap, which is super awesome. Here you go. It's some really good running from Chuba Hubbard on that play. 23-21. I wish they would show the actual throw to the end zone to Adam Thielen. That was a crazy play. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. Of course, let me know if you guys want to see these every week, because it is pretty sick, actually. Look at the running, hurtling into the end zone. The Bengals sneaking out with a victory over the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson winning the starting job through preseason there. New York Giants versus the Washington Commanders in this one. A lot of division rivalry games in week 1, of course. All day to throw for Jaden Daniels. Unleashes deep. Hits the throw. Lands in double coverage. And scores. So insane, my controller died. Really died right at the last one, huh? Thanks, controller. Everything in life tries to sabotage me, okay? We've also changed one of our weekly coaching abilities where we have now a +4 to release and +4 to spec catch for all wide receivers and tight ends. Another thing that I will say, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this. I feel like it makes it a little too arcadey, but we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. Still kind of learning this thing as we go on. And then for practice, everyone is going to have full pads practice except for Taylor Moton, who is going to be resting. The injury risk is too high. On the road again for game 2 of the regular season in Glendale, Arizona, taking on the Arizona Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. They've got the mascot. Is he about to... Oh, it's an air raid siren. I thought he was about to shoot out of that cannon. I thought this was literally Angry Birds, but it is actually a siren, which I love that, dude. I know I'm supposed to hate the Cardinals right now, but I love a good siren, let me tell you. Of course, looking at last week, we gained 358 yards, which is pretty damn good. Allowed 257 yards, also pretty damn good. Cardinals, on the other hand, gave up more yards than they actually gained, so just from our own week 1 to week 1 matchup here between the two teams, we did play better than the Cardinals did, respectively. I don't know who they played. Jaguars do have some offensive weapons, but definitely not the best team overall. As ETN, wow, what a spin move to the 24-yard line. Still not a great return in the end. Bryce Young, of course, career stats, 5,428 yards, which is pretty good. Then you look at the touchdowns and like, wow, 27 passing touchdowns. You look at that in his career. I mean, those are worse than some of Brady's best seasons. So, not sure that's really saying much because Brady's the GOAT, but regardless of the point, first run of the game, Chuba Hubbard, who had a great game last week, at least for the first 3 quarters, will only gain 1. Chuba Hubbard on the inside zone, and our guard gets slammed. Is that a linebacker that did that? Akeem Davis Gaither slammed him. 3rd and 8, staring down a tough situation early with a pretty rough start on the ground. A block and release. Jeromepkr will not get the ball off. We do, but barely. We stood pretty tough in that pocket. The line did pretty well. It just could not get that route off cleaner. Will be punting. Another 3 and out to start out a game. Sadly, did have Adam Thielen, but it was a bit of a long throw. It would have been tough. Definitely would have been tough. It's not like we missed someone wide open as we blast them on the return. Greg Dortch with a decent little punt return. Kyler Murray last season. 3,851 yards. 21 passing touchdowns. A little bit on the ground to go with it from the 38-yard line. Kyler Murray throws a little dump off to James Conner. They love this guy here. You might think, that surface, what makes him so special? But he's just a playmaker. He just makes plays and is very consistent, very dependable. And outside, we over-pursue a little bit. Actually gets driven backwards. 3rd and inches now. And again, forgot about the QB sneak. We should have called a timeout. We actually almost got him, though. Completely forgot about the sneak. That's unfortunate. 49-yard line. Fresh set of downs. Getting blocked up perfectly. James Conner finding some room. Gains another first down to the 41. 1st and 10 again. Kyler Murray and company orchestrating the drive. Kyler all day to throw over the middle. Big gainer. Yet another first down. Taking another look at this, and honestly, if the guy would have stayed on his feet, he might have had even more. Zay Jones with a big play. Don't know if I want to bring in Scott or not. I guess we do. Find a feeling it's a run anyways. Time in the snap. I thought we did a pretty good job faking it out. And over the middle, there's that main man, Marvin Harrison Jr. Not a bad rookie year from him in 2024. Still, I would imagine the Arizona Cardinals was expected maybe a little bit more, but definitely not really much to be concerned about. And to the outside, scoring actually really good athleticism there to get out in front. Stopping them to a gain of 3. I thought that was going to be a touchdown for a moment. Going to go to the opposite side now. Iman Mielen on the user. Nice finesse move. Kyler Murray's going to run. Kyler Murray short of the end zone to the 3-yard line. You would assume, no, you would assume wrong. You'd assume this would be a field goal, but they're going to go for it. 4th and 3, pretty much. And pressured instantly. Nick Scordon with the sack. Turnover on downs. Wow. Questionable decision there by the Arizona Cardinals front office. Their coaching staff, I should say. And we got to cut this inside. We can't get there. There was so much potential, but the initial push dictated where we could go. We're going to run it again, put ourselves in another spot probably. And yeah, so far the run game just not really there. Wide receiver under. They're playing the inside shade. Thielen's our main. Should have probably taken that. Is great pressure and swatted by the defender. That is lockdown D. Probably had a chance with Sanders, but it would have needed to be a perfect throw. Anything under, and it might have been picked. So far, not doing much, especially through the air. Oh, wide open. Marvin Harrison Jr. breaks off the tackle at the 25-yard line. Whose fat ass is in the way? I can't see. Pretty good convergence, just nobody could actually get in there and finish the play. Marvin Harrison Jr. is starting to heat up. We have the 6-man blitz, but I think we're going to drop Barnes off here. Oh, it's a screen. We got caught. And thankfully we're there because Barnes saving the day. Tampa 2. I mean, they've shown a couple of desires to just streak us, but in this formation, you can't really do that. Over the middle, we were a little hesitant. And wide open, down to the 2. Running. I thought someone would have got there sooner. They didn't. Inside the 5 now. Arizona back in the goal line. Their offense is moving with ease. End of the first quarter, scoreless, but not for much longer. At least the sun's out of our eyes, even though this is going to benefit them. Scott tried to blow it up, and there goes James Conner, who almost gives us a chance at it, but will, in the end, get into the end zone for the first points of the game. Holy crap, I don't know what has gotten to this Arizona Cardinals defense, but they are having a start to this game. Screen pass, try to open something up, and our lead lineman, Robert Hunt, just misses. 3rd and 12, the offense, nowhere to go so far. And underneath, can we hit it? We can. Thielen, big gainer. Thielen all the way to the 45-yard line. Huge conversion. Going with a halfback draw, which, of course, for some reason they're aware of. They've got like half their team drawing down on this. Back to the tight end. Catch this, please. Does. Gets hammered for 5. A little bubble. I don't know if I like this. They're kind of stacked up. They look ready to defend this. Let me go with slants. Can we audible back down? All right, they're not ready this time. Out there, Thielen, please. Thielen breaks off the tackle. It's a 4th and 2. 4th and 2, they're ready for the run, but sprint out play. McMillan could score. We'll see. And we're just going to take the dump off. Hits the throw. Evans. First catch of his career, first down. Still trying to rely heavily on that run game because it was so good last week. But yeah, so far right now, I have to go away from it a little bit. Underneath, I didn't even see that guy come up. Huge truck thrown into the air like Javid Best. Sanders to the 24-yard line. 4th and 2. We appreciate the effort, but please do not end your career. For some reason, they're saying we should not be going for this. They've changed their mind. Let's see if we can get a free play. And our left guard false starts. That will be a field goal. I mean, that is actually insane. Wow. Yeah, definitely no choice but to kick the field goal now. Toughest field goal of his career so far, and it will be up and good. 3-7. Almost ran into the kicker there. Big concern would be that we did get the ball to start the game, just like last week, so. Derek Brown trying to work the double team. Kyler Murray is going to take a sack. Umami Allen, no, actually Scorton, with his 2nd. Barnes over the middle. Big importance. Running back, we're on him. Kyler's going to run right into Derek Brown and get sacked again. 4th and 21. Kyler Murray nowhere to go. Thought I seen someone to the right, but maybe it just wasn't enough for the first. And he just, oh my. He just didn't want to throw it if it wasn't going to mean anything. And there goes Horn injured. Still on the ground as we, speak, by the way. Hopefully that's not a concerning injury. We had the tight end. Hit this throw. Nice. And that left foot was close. Really big play, though, to the 43-yard line. Going to run the inside zone. And we just stalled. Bruised sternum, that's fine. As long as it's not like a long-term serious injury, we will live with it. Play that actually won us last game. And, uh-oh, that's in danger. Thielen gets blasted. Little trail play. Looking for Sanders. Oh, wide open. We're late, though, and even worse, it's a bad throw. Damn. That will unfortunately be a punt that'll probably end the half. 3rd and 5, I'm willing to just let them waste this clock. First down here would do some things. And for a good reason we're willing to, is they're going to find Zay Jones over the middle to the 50. Their priorities have shifted. Chances and reasons to try and make something happen here. A little dump off to the tight end. If they spike this, which they're not going to, actually. They are going to potentially run out of clock. And Kyler throws it. Barely get out of bounds. 3 seconds left. I guess they knew what they were doing the whole time. I don't see why this isn't in range. And yes, they will kick this up and good. He probably could have hit it from 61. 10-3 at halftime. The Arizona Cardinals defense showing up, showing out. And looking at the recap, Seattle Seahawks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, this is a nice run here. Breaking off multiple jukes. 3 of them. Left, right, left, left, right, left. Might have actually been the opposite way. Doesn't matter how you want to read it as what a run. The Pittsburgh Steelers get on the win column over the Seattle Seahawks. The New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. A division rivalry matchup here. Tua launching this thing deep from only 30 out. Where's the room? Back of the end zone. Perfect play. Drake May struggling mightily in that one and overall in the season as the Patriots fall to 0-2. The Dolphins are moving 2-0 to start the season. Darren Waller back from retirement. Who said that he doesn't have a little bit left in him? New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. Who's at home? Who can really say? Josh Allen scrambling out, throws it into the end zone to a wide open Shakir, where the Bills, Shakir, a very nice 22-point victory over the New York Jets. Looking at the games around the league, the Packers winning by 3 over the Commanders, Chiefs winning by 7 over the Eagles, and of course right now the Cardinals winning by 7 over us. So far that's a lot of the same. Blanketed coverage, couple of openings here and there, but not really much to work with. Pass game, just like last week, strugglesome. Arizona, on the other hand, 9 for 9, 137 yards. Worst part is our ground game hasn't gotten going. And where it was just bright out a moment ago at halftime now, it is simmered down as Greg Dortch gets a nice return. 43-yard line for the 5'7" wide receiver. Tell me that Greg Dortch isn't on that team to make Kyler Murray feel tall. That's all I'm saying. As they will feel tall to start this drive. Wide open Trey McBride, and Kyler Murray, speaking of, running for a gain of 5. Slips down on the 48-yard line, bringing a blitz. Are playing the inside on James Conner, and they block us nicely for a massive gain of 8. When you compare it to our run game, it is absolutely massive, as we have just struggled. 7 for 7 after last week. 12 for, oh no. Big run for Kyler. Nice smart slide for 9.5. Gonna try to step, oh, that's wide open drag. And Kyler's making it tougher on himself, but gets a lot more yards in the process. To the 12, Zay Jones, who's had a good game. Nothing we do is making any sort of difference. Umon Mielen dropping back into coverage. And they are going to run it again. Connor making plays to the 6-yard line. 4-6. Not points, yards, thankfully. And it, oh, Lord, we just got tricked. But Kyler's got nowhere to go. Sacked on the play. Tag team sacked there by, I believe, Nick Scott and Princely. Umon Mielen, 3rd and 13 now. A little bit of a hybrid defense. Move over Trayvon Merrick over the middle. We've got this locked up, and he just forced to throw it away. Did have James Conner wide open, but just didn't take it. To no one's surprise, they do hit the field goal, making this a 2-possession game. Trevor Etienne, okay return to the 25. All right, we've started almost every single drive, maybe even every single drive with a run. Let's try to mix it up a little bit, as nothing has really worked so far. And we're in trouble. Throw it away. Wow, that's going to be grounding. Good try by Bryce, but that will be in the pocket. That's tough. Looked around, didn't really see anybody. Was actually the read we were looking at, too. Just didn't feel like we had the clean enough look. I'm going to take this over to Adam Thielen, who will actually get a lot of yards. Breaks the ankles. Adam Thielen in a foot race. Buda Baker. And now Buda Baker gets his very own chase down to the 18. The old man still has a little bit of juice left in him. Huge play. Broke down. Playing way too low. And with the ankle break on Thompson, Thielen almost took that to the house. Of course, a failed run on 1st and 10. There just really hasn't been any sort of run game so far. A little motion from Sanders, testing out the defense. It's a tough one. It's a little behind them, and as you would expect, dropped. Frustrating. We need something. Of course, they're in coverage, but what can you do? Oh. Tetaroa, not a clean route, and he drops it. Tetaroa McMillan so far, his route running has been very suspect. Unfortunately, pretty much forced to just replicate what they did. That big play almost for nothing. I know 3 points gets us back in the game, down just a 7-point lead, but at the same time, you get a play, and I'm about to say I did see him open and dropped. Wow, okay. Yeah, you get a big play like that. You have all the momentum, you have the hype, and you just don't make it happen. Also, didn't even mention J.C. Horn's back. And Kyler Murray gets the throwaway. We do get the stop. Defense is giving the offense a chance. 7-point game, nearing the 4th. Got to get in the end zone, which we've just struggled to do. We're just doing too much there. That's one of those plays where if you don't know what our actual, vision is for it, it looks brain dead. Literally nail in the skull. Play action, pretty good coverage, and we're in trouble. Oh, that ball was not in a good place. Michael Walker injured on the play. Glad we were able to at least make something happen. And wide open Sanders. Perfect throw. Great find. Breaks the ankles to the 39-yard line. Bryce is starting to heat up. And wide open Leggett. It's a pretty good throw. It's a little high, but Leggett handles it to the 21. Going with a dive play. Nothing that is like surprised them has worked. So I figure bring the extra bodies in there, see if we can just get some blocks. And we did, but backside was open. All right, got a play action. I'm not sure why they would ever bite on this. Quick throw over to Sanders. Baker almost blowing that one up. We're in trouble. Bryce going to try to scramble. Steps in. Breaks the ankles. Falling forward to the 8 for the huge conversion. 1st and goal. Nowhere to go with it. Knew we had to make it happen. And wow, what a move. Left side. Pretty good blocking. And there we go. Chuba Hubbard not having a great game, but will have the first touchdown of the game for us, which will tie this thing up. Start of the 4th quarter with a 7-yard gain for the Arizona Cardinals. To the outside. Oh, my. Oh, we missed him. What is that pursuit angle? Huge run to the 43-yard line. Nick Scott is now injured, as if we needed more of those. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Scorton. Spin move and a little RPO and nice fall forward for 4. Injury report. Oh, we can actually choose now. I'm not going to do that. Substitute. Ransom's a pretty good player anyways, so I think it's worth it. Oh, my. Burns killing him. Scott, however, back in anyways. Oh, my. Try to drag the safety down a little bit. Oh, no. There's no way. There is actually no way. Absolutely panicked. Thought he was going to get rid of it, and instead, Kyler just takes it away. You can see we panicked. We double jumped. Don't look at it again. Please. Oh, my, no. Why would you do that? Why would you watch? Why would you show that? We made a really good pass rush move with Uman Mian, who's had a pretty good start to the season. But thinking Kyler was going to get rid of it because, you know, he had to, we try to swat the thing. Nick Scorton, 13-yard line, Arizona. As long as they don't make a mistake, they will take the lead again. And, oh, no, could be a holding call. Didn't call it, though. To the 1, Kyler, big scramble. Not going to run commit because they have thrown before. And James Conner, big body, buries his way in for the touchdown. 5:20 in the 4th quarter. We are no stranger to a comeback attempt. And outside, Chuba Hubbard does what he can, which is only going to get us a yard. I mean, I really hate to just give up on the run game, but, I mean, at what point do you have no choice? Trap play, they don't see it, but at the same time, there's still a free rusher. The short outs, little Texas route, ETN. Got to catch it. What a throw and catch. First down. Bryce Young today, completion percentage isn't great, but yards is better than last week. Struggling to get those passing touchdowns in there, I got to say. Stretch look, ETN. Pretty good push. You know, we had to run all the way out and spinning into danger. Loss of 4. Dowdle on the reverse screen. Gets the dump off, and there is nobody on him. Lineman can't get out there, though, so it's still 3rd and 5. Got a quick stick here. See if we can try to find someone instantly. It's a tough one. Threw it high, and unfortunately, that is going to be a 4th and 5. Do you trust your defense? I mean, if you don't get it, they're like a 1st down away. Our defense has made a stop before. Let's see it. Problem is, our punting has been so suspect. Honestly, with how bad our punting is, let's just kick it to the guy. Oh, no. We left it too long. Cherilus almost makes a play, and it's going to be turnover on downs at the 35. I didn't know that was going to happen. I know they brought the extra rushers. Held it just slightly too long, and they blocked the punt. That is disastrous. I had no idea. I know that like it takes a little longer. I had no idea that was going to happen. Should have played it safer. We do get a pretty big play there, though, as he gets forced out of bounds. We really need them to go backwards, though, because right now they're, you know, that was almost like a safety, basically. Quick throw outside and drop big. Arizona's giving us better chances here. I would say keep it up, but I really feel one of these times is going to be a conversion. I'd really wish they would just run it here. And they do. Good teamwork. 2-minute warning. Field goal makes it tough, though. Field goal makes it tough. Not even going to bother icing them, I don't think. We need those timeouts. It's a miracle ask, but if we waste one timeout, it takes us 40 seconds to get down the field, which is a lot to ask for. Because you kick a field goal, you keep the door open. I need these timeouts. As much as an ice might actually be the difference maker, I think from this close, dead center, We just got to hope our offense can make something happen. Damn, I can't believe that block punt. Wanted as much power on as possible. I thought we released it in time, but apparently not. ETN is a little bit of a shorter kick. Could get something decent here. Try to set it up, which did work out. Breaks the tackle to the 37. Big return. Really have no choice but to kind of take some shots here. We need these timeouts. And there's nobody on us. There's nobody blocking him. Oh, my. 1 sack on the day. Yeah, well, that was the biggest sack of the game. A lot of clock running here now. I think you just got to take it. It's a bad throw. And almost PI, actually. Definitely can make a case for impeding the process there. And he was in range. And intercepted. I thought we had the timing on that. First pick of the season. We'll seal our fate 23-13. Trying to do a little too much there in that final drive and did nothing in the process. I really thought we had that pass off. It looked like he was passing the tight end off and said he ran with it completely. And Arizona's defense, they really cooked up, especially on the run defense, which forced us to throw the ball, and we were behind the sticks most plays because of the failed runs. And with that, Arizona played a really good game and are going to come out with the victory here. And they don't even give us a chance. They get the first down and thus sealing the game 23-13. Really impressive come from behind victory in week 1, but week 2 the Arizona Cardinals, a little bit more of a solidified offense with Kyler Murray, and they do just enough to manage the game, and defensively did really well. Of course, sealing the game with that interception from Walker. On the juke inside, what a move, but sadly, only getting a field goal on that drive as well. That kind of stuff, just missing opportunities, really hurt us in that one. Completion percentage from Bryce Young, not the best. Kyler Murray, similar type of game, but obviously a little bit more accurate. And then the big thing, their run game was very good. Chuba Hubbard, who had a great week last week, not so much this week. You can see the other guys, they were both -4. So that was actually a good game from Hubbard when you consider the blocks, or lack thereof. Adam Thielen with 100 yards to the air, Sanders with 41, Leggett with 41, and McMillan with a 6-yard play despite multiple drops from the offense. Pass rush, Nick Scorton was amazing. Derek Brown with another sack. Uman Mielen and Nick Scott combining for 1. And then a pick, of course, for Michael Walker. And believe it or not, we will actually be ending the episode there. I know we were expecting to do 3 games an episode, but to even this season out, to be able to do 3 games an episode to get to the end of the regular season, it would be a perfect time to cut it there. Kind of sucks that we had the great game week 1 and then week 2 a little bit less great. But of course, if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like. 600 likes and we'll do episode 3 tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification to know exactly when one of those uploads does come out. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PKR plays around Madden content. And that is basically it. If there's any players you think we should trade for, any roster moves you think we should make, let me know those as well. Check out that rebuild a little bit. That came out a little bit earlier today. And that's really about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,